Maybe. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to WrestleMania Week. That's right, as I said earlier, it is WrestleMania week. With a full week of From the Chair. We will fill you in a few short seconds. Live shows every week, predictions after dark, maybe a couple of specials, and will the host have to wear a dress? We should know by the end of Sunday night. And we will be back in 30 seconds.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. And welcome to Doug and Megan, who are already in the comment section, which is awesome. Hello, Tony, and hello, Pat. Welcome to WrestleMania week.
The week that we find out if the host wears a dress in August. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we will find that out right after WrestleMania night when we come on for our recap of WrestleMania.
Yeah, and we'll explain this, but what we decided to put the nail in my coffin if I steal a line from Vampiro in this bet, but we'll see.
As us wrestling fans know, a tradition at WrestleMania is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. However, they're not going to have that at WrestleMania this year, but they are going to have that on Friday Night SmackDown. My thought is we should include that in this bet. What do our fans think?
And yes, Doug, we're all ready for WrestleMania. But as Tony said, do you guys think we should add the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal into the bet?
And our bet just keeps getting more and more for our host.
Take the wheel and screamed.
Yeah. like Tony said, the bet keeps getting better and better because not only if I lose do I have to wear a dress, not only if I lose, as we found out last night, do I have to wear a Mets hat, but if I lose during the 7th-inning stretch of a Seattle Mariners game, I have to yell out Cubs rule, Mariners drool, right? Was that the line?
That's the line.
To which I said, I agree, but I need personal security to get me out of the stadium.
All you have is me, big boy.
Well, you're going to have to push some people off because I guarantee you, if I say that around a bunch of Mariners fans, we ain't going to be the most popular people in.
We're already not going to be a very popular person wearing a Mets hat in Seattle, so.
I don't know. The scary part for me is going to be if I pick up any numbers from any of the guys in the stadium.
So we still don't have any responses to if we should add this part to the bet, but we need to introduce our new co-host for the people that haven't met him yet. This is Pat. We're going to run with Pat and Tonette when she comes back, so we will have a 4-man booth here shortly.
Yes, and I think we'd be remiss if we didn't thank one more time Vertigo for the great interview last night, and Plex for yesterday afternoon.
I learned a lot about the Fatu family last night, and we've got a lot of. Ooh, that's a good idea, Doug.
Yes, Doug, I get to.
No, you don't. It says, do they get to pick out the color of the dress?
Well, to be fair, I think the people where I live at the Frontier Nursing Home are picking out a dress for me. I think a couple of the people have to use. And Megan, somebody will copy down that web address that you put down so we can check out the GIF probably after the podcast.
Yeah. So as I was saying, this is going to be a very busy week for the hosts because we have not one, not two, but yes, we're going to do 3 prediction shows because there are 3 major wrestling events that are going on this weekend with WrestleMania. We're going to do the NXT Stand and Deliver. We're going to do the ROH Super Card of Honor. And then, of course, the card that the host is going to wear a dress on.
So let's get some pre-predictions out of the way. What do you guys think of the idea that they're going to have John Cena and Austin Theory kick off night 1? That was a little surprising to me. Pat, your thoughts?
My thought is, I think they're kicking off with one of the greatest world champions in WWE history. I think it's awesome.
I would agree with that. This is, we'll go into the prediction a little bit more when we get to that point in the week, but do you think Cena's going to win?
I think he is. However, I look to see Austin Theory cheat to retain.
Interesting.
Interesting theory, she's thinking it's scripted. Cena will lose. Unfortunately, I'm thinking it's going to be a terrible match.
I would have to kind of agree with Megan. I think they're going to script it to make Austin Theory look like what Brock Lesnar kind of looked like at that SummerSlam where Brock Lesnar kind of destroyed John Cena. I think that because I think they want to build Theory up even bigger than what he was, and what better way to do that than to have him mostly destroy John Cena. You know, maybe you give John Cena his 5 fingers of doom, as my friends used to say, moveset, and then, Theory just dominates after that.
So, can we use this as a official prediction, Mr. Host, that you're going with Austin Theory to win?
Yes.
Okay, everybody, you heard it here. He's going with Austin Theory. I believe in the 16-time world champion. I believe that he is going to tie the other 16-time world champion with 6 U.S. title wins.
I have to agree with Tony on that one.
And Pat, you said you're going with...
I'm going with John Cena.
Okay. Well, let me explain Austin Theory. The reason I think it's Austin Theory is because we don't know what John Cena's movie schedule is. So if he's got a movie coming up, why would they have him win the United States title?
Probably to lose at Backlash.
If he doesn't have a movie before then. And I'm not the only one, because Doug says Theory also. And Megan, so...
Okay, and you're going with Dolph Ziggler in the Battle Royal. We've already established that.
I'm going with Bronson Reed.
And I went with
Well, you went original.
Well, I went originally with Ricochet, but then I forgot he was in the tag team match. So my second pick was Mustafa.
Yeah. And his new motivational speaker gimmick.
Well, I wasn't planning on doing the predictions now, but okay, I guess we'll do it. So
well, Nathan, I mean, we're kind of rolling into it. So
Nathan takes Theory. Okay, so there we go. And then
again, it's because I don't know what his music or what Cena's movie schedule is.
And Battle Royal. He's taking Ziggler. And yes, I am writing this down so he can't cheat and say that he got it right.
Sorry, I can't say sorry. I had a bad connection, and
I'm writing this down, and it's being recorded live for our fans, so you can't back out of this.
All right. So how about we do this then, since we're down the rabbit hole on this, and why don't we go down the list of what you got, and if they add anything, when we come back and do the other ones, we can add to it.
Okay, well, let's just jump right into it. Let's go Seth freaking Rollins and that wrestler wannabe Logan scumbag Paul.
Pat, I'll let you go first on that one.
I hate to say this, but I gotta go with Seth Rollins.
Tony?
Rollins all the way.
Looks like I'm going to be the one on the other. Actually, let me think about that one for a second.
Yours is the only one that matters, though, big boy. And Doug went Seth.
I'm a little nervous about this one, but I'm going to go with Seth. The only reason I'm nervous is if Logan Paul hits him with that metal hand that he's got, because he legitimately has metal in that hand.
Okay, well, we're just around the table with Seth.
He could legitimately knock Seth out and get the pin.
Well, we all just went with Seth Rollins. It's official. It's noted. It's down. No changing. And even if you go the other way with Tonette saying, "Oh no," Tonette's isn't the official one. This one is.
All right, Brock Lesnar versus Omos.
I am gonna go with Omos.
All right.
What about you, Tony?
And
Go ahead and do your theory. Go ahead.
the reason is I think Brock Lesnar is about at the end of his career. He's even said that. And I think he, like the Undertaker with the streak, I think he would put Omos over. To end that match. And Doug says that's a tough one, but he's going with Brock.
What's your prediction, Tony?
I agree with our viewer, Doug.
I have a follow-up question to that match, though. Do you think if it's Brock that wins, do you think he'll hit Omos with the F5?
I have to predict a double count out on that one, or a double disqualification.
Interesting.
No, I say he beats him with the Kuman or with the Kamara.
Ooh, I like that. That's a big arm to get in the Kimura, though.
But you already went with Omos, so yours is locked in. Next one we want to do, and I know this was another tough one for you. The next one I want to do is The Man and Team Bestie versus Ding Dong Hello and her Damage Control.
I'm gonna go with Damage turning on Becky Lynch to set up the match at SummerSlam.
You're going with what?
Damage Control with Trish turning on Becky Lynch to set up the match at SummerSlam.
Interesting. Pat?
I'm going to have to say, whether I like it or not, Damage Control.
Any particular reason?
Because I think there's going to be some shenanigans in that match.
I'm gonna go up.
Doug agrees with me that it'll be Damage Control because Trish will turn.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm gonna be the only oddball, and there's one word why I'm choosing this team. It's gonna be Becky, Trish, and Lita. One word: HOT.
Well, that's a reason.
I can't go against beautiful women. I'm sorry.
The men's showcase.
So is that what are you saying then that Damage Control is not beautiful?
Damage Control does nothing for me.
Okay, point taken.
Okay, so you want the Braun Ricochet, Viking Raiders, Street Profits, and
Alpha Academy.
Shush, please.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go with the Ricochet and Braun. Because they got a lot of momentum going.
I'm going.
You're going with Nathan?
The Street Profits.
Why are you going with Street Profits?
Okay, this one's going to be a long explanation, but I don't think they're going to push the Viking Raiders because they really haven't. Otis is going to leave Chad Gable to finally go with the Maximum Male Models. And Ricochet and Braun Strowman, I think Ricochet is going to be isolated and then they'll be eliminated. And I think the Street Profits are at least getting some momentum on Raw. So,
Okay. I'm going Braun and Ricochet, and here's why. Same reason for you with Alpha Academy. Otis is going to turn on Gable. They haven't pushed the Viking Raiders, which is unfortunate because Viking Raiders are a damn good tag team.
yes, they are.
I mean, I don't care what anybody says. Go back and look at the ROH stuff. They are a damn good tag team being very, very underutilized in WWE. However, not their time right at the moment. Street Profits, we all seen it before coming. This is going to be the time where Ford turns on Dawkins and does his complete heel turn. That's right, mic drop.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I didn't think of that.
And
that's
it's
what I'm kind of thinking too about the Street Profits.
And Doug says the Viking Raiders, and he just has a feeling that it's going to be the Viking Raiders.
You see, I'm kind of torn because I could have went with the Viking Raiders too, but you can't. I mean, I just can't go against a good big man. Maybe it's the Vinnie Mac in me. Okay, so I don't want to do the Cody Roman right now. That's going to be the last one because I'm going to make our hosts win on that one. So
I want to hold off on the Hell in the Cell one too.
So I want to jump in to the ex-honorary Oos and his best friend KO versus against a family that we just interviewed last night with the Usos.
As much as I want to say the Usos, I got to go with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn because they're not going to go through that much trouble of putting them together just to have them lose.
So you're going KO Sami.
I have
And
to
remember,
go with
I'm
KO
making
and
these-
Sammy as well.
And remember, I'm making these official. You can't back out of these.
I know.
And however, all three hosts actually, do I dare say it, we actually agree on one thing. We're all going KO and Sami.
And so is Doug. So it's a sweep player across the board.
Okay, however, we don't know the winner. Well, we got to save that one because we got to wait and see who the winner of that one is. Okay, well, we just went with one championship. Let's go to another. Sheamus, Drew, and Gunther.
As much as I like Drew, I gotta go with Sheamus.
Tony?
Only for the fact that he's never held that title.
Doug went Drew. And you see, I'm kind of torn between Drew and Sheamus. I'm really kind of torn between that. But I'm going to do the wild card pick just because, sometimes the host gives me these weird little inclinations in my head, and this is one of them. I'm going to say Gunther because Sheamus and Drew can't stand each other, and it's double count out for those two where Gunther wins via count. They beat the hell out of each other, and Gunther just gets the win.
Yes, I completely agree with that. I would go with Gunther also because I think Sheamus and Drew McIntyre are gonna like explode on each other and they'll kind of cancel each other out, and he'll get the win. But I think here's a little caveat to that one. I think Gunther will beat down Sheamus, and then Butch or Pete Dunne, because they're about ready to turn him back to Pete Dunne, will make the save, and they'll set up an Intercontinental title match between Pete Dunne and Gunther for Backlash.
All right. Well, that only leaves us just a few more matches so far that's on the card, unless there's something that new comes up tonight. So let's just okay. I'm just gonna do it just because I'm in a championship mood. We're going with the SmackDown Women's title first.
All right.
Flair versus Ripley.
Pat, I'll let you go first on that one.
I gotta go with the Queen.
Really?
Reason?
Only because Charlotte is been on fire. And honestly, I don't think Rhea's ready for a championship.
Tony?
Rhea Ripley all the way.
Reason?
Reason? You don't start number one at the Royal Rumble and finish it without a reason.
Good point. And yes, Doug, this is fun and interesting, and he went with Ripley. Mine is also Rhea Ripley because she's been on a bigger role than Charlotte Flair. And I think switching her to SmackDown would mean that Dominic would go over because they're not going to stop that. And then you could continue, like, his rise as, like, you know, taking out his dad and stuff with Santos Escobar if you wanted to.
Okay, well, everybody's made their picks for that one. So let's just jump before we do the other women's one. Seems how you went there, Mr. Host. Let's do Mysterio versus Mysterio. And just I can make a joke there. Mysterio is going to win.
Touche. Because I think at the Hall of Fame, I think it's going to turn into a mass versus career match because I think Dominic's going to attack Conan, and that's going to push Ray over the edge. And so I think Dominic's going to win, and that'll be Ray's last match.
I don't see Ray losing his mask. So I'm going to have to go with Daddy on that one. He's going to put a butt whooping on him.
Tony?
I'm going to go with what our guest from last night said. Rey Mysterio is the best luchador that this world has ever seen. Thank you, WCW, for bringing Rey Mysterio into the industry. Thank you, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, for taking Rey Mysterio out of the industry. Dominic for the win.
And if we're going that way, we should also give credit to the first promoter that brought Rey Mysterio to the United States, and that was Paul Heyman in ECW. And Doug went with Ray if no one interferes.
All right. There's only a few matches left. Now we're going to go with Montez Ford's better half versus the Japanese buzzsaw, Asuka.
Not to be confused with Tajiri.
Even though I like Asuka, I think Bianca is on a roll as when it comes to WrestleMania. So that's a big toss up because I like both. So I can't really decide on who would win.
Tony?
Well, I'm going to give my reason first. I hate long championship reigns. I hate Roman Reigns' championship reign. I hate the Usos championship reign. It's been too long. Not taking anything away from them as wrestlers. We're looking at Miss Belair going on 365 days at WrestleMania when she wins the title. So that is 364 days too long. Or that is 1 day too long. Asuka.
I like that. I'm going to also go with Asuka because I think Asuka's finally going to embrace fully that dark character that she's debuted. And we're going to see a more aggressive and violent side of Asuka at WrestleMania, and she'll become the new champion.
Yeah, now that I look at it, I see her using that mist to win.
Hell, I could even see her chopping off the braid that, the big long braid that Bianca Belair has.
And again, it's a unanimous vote because Doug went with Asuka as well.
So yeah, I have not, like I said, now that I look at it, I can see her taking that braid away and using the mist to win.
Okay, well that gives us 3 matches left, and I don't know we'll find the winner of the Battle Royal or the 4-pack here in just a little bit on Raw. Unless Doug, unless you want to spoil that for us, and we can do the prediction now.
Yeah, and we'd be completely fine with that.
And I'd be completely fine with that, honestly.
So while we're waiting on that, why don't we skip ahead to another one, and then if we get it, then we can double back.
So I'm gonna go Hell in the Cell, Demon Balor versus Brood Edge.
Okay, I want to go first on this one. Brood Edge with Gangrel's help.
Nathan?
Like I said, I said no, Doug. Yeah. It's
we're looking for the final participant in the women between Michin and help me, host. Candice versus
Chelsea Green and Sonya.
Cardona and yeah.
So anyway, getting back to the Hell in the Cell, I said Brood Edge with Gangrel's help.
Haven't shown that one yet. Okay.
I would have to say I gotta agree with Nathan on this one. Edge is too diabolical in that cell.
And especially if he gets Gangrel to reform like the Brood for that one night, that would just push it over.
However, I don't see Gangrel helping
for me.
Nathan.
Okay, well,
I see a Hall of Famer helping Edge.
Wait, you thinking Christian?
Well,
Christian's not in the Hall of Fame yet, although he should be.
I'm thinking of the Dead Man.
Why would the Undertaker have anything to do with Finn Balor, though? That's the only question I have. Not saying you're wrong. I'm just
because Undertaker and Edge has fought in the Hell in the Cell.
Yeah.
I could see a special referee in that match being The Undertaker.
Anything's possible, but I think that would have already been announced already.
Unless they're keeping it up until the match.
Okay, and then Doug went with Demon Balor.
Yep.
And as much as I love Edge, I agree with my theory with Rey Mysterio. Edge is a great wrestler. Thank you for bringing him in so many years ago. It's time for you to go home and kiss your babies and keep Beth company. Demon for the win.
Okay, caveat to that, though. Does he do it on his own? Or does Judgment Day find a way to come and break into the cell?
Does Finn Balor ever win on his own?
Good point.
I mean, if you've realized what I've done here, I went Judgment Day for the sweep. Mania.
Tony, going back to the Women's SmackDown Championship, there's another possibility in that factor that Rhea won't win.
Which is?
Phoenix.
Ooh, that's a possibility. Because then that would build the anticipation of like the hell.
Rhea versus Beth in a Hell in a Cell.
Well, why wouldn't you put the title on her and give Beth a shot at the title?
Ooh, I like that one too.
That's a good point.
Again, this is why I'm better than y'all, and you know it. That's the only line I steal from MJF, by the way. I still think it's last. Okay, now for the match, I think that Mr. Nas is going to have to wear the dress on because he's been torn since this match has been announced. And now I'm finally getting to put him on the spot. And after last night's interview, this is going to be more extremely difficult for him because that's right. We were actually officially made honorary Usos when he said we were part of their family yesterday. Again, we thank you for that.
Yes.
Vertigo. So.
Yes, that was probably the biggest honor I've ever gotten, personally.
Without further ado, Nate. Tribal Chief versus the other royal family of wrestling.
Well, going off of that interview last night, I sat back and I thought about it again after we got off, and I kind of was able to calm my brain down from what we had just done. And I have to go with what Mr. Vertigo said, and I'm going to go with Cody with Paul Heyman turning on Roman Reigns and joining up with Cody.
Damn, I wasn't expecting you to go that way.
He convinced me.
I wasn't expecting you to go that way. I really thought I had you on this one.
What can I say? He convinced me last night.
Yeah, I have to go with Cody. However, I don't see Heyman turning. I see Solo turning on Roman.
Ooh, yeah, I can see that also. So
I'm gonna go by with what our guest Mr. Vertigo said last night too. It's going to be one or the other with the win with a solo help. The winner and new undisputed world heavyweight champion Cody Rhodes.
And Doug also went with Cody.
Now for a spoiler. They are going to reveal the new championship belt at WrestleMania.
Yes, I heard that also.
Wait, they're only going with one tag team champion now?
No, a new world championship. Triple H commissioned a new world championship that's supposed to be debuting at WrestleMania.
And the other belt's going back to USA Network, I'm assuming?
I'm assuming, yes.
So they're keeping one. So they're keeping a Universal, and then they're making a new world. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. What do you bet is going to be the old WCW World Championship title that Dusty was supposed to win?
I think that's what it's going to be.
So I think it's going to be the Eagle belt. because Cody had said he wants the Eagle belt.
I'm thinking more old tradition belt that WWE had. That Dusty Rhodes run, but was stripped out.
So you're thinking the one with like the globe in the middle.
Yes.
I'm thinking they're bringing back the old NWA title, the one that Dusty was supposed to win.
Yeah, but didn't they do that already with Triple H with Eric Bischoff?
Come on, this is Dusty Rhodes. This is Cody. This is history.
True. But then, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying, okay, Doug said he's seen pics of the new belt and it's white, which isn't out of the realm because Cody. Remember when Cody won the Intercontinental title, he had the white strap on the back.
Yeah, the white strap on the IC
Yep.
title. Yes, he did.
Yeah, because Cody put it back to the traditional white strap championship.
Yep.
And that's
Okay,
why.
So then that confirms it. If it's a white belt, Cody wins.
Yeah, because they wouldn't have a white belt if it was Roman.
Yeah.
However, I also see another factor in that match. I don't know how. I don't know if it's going to be approved. But I also see Big Brother in the corner of Cody.
Well, that's been in the works since the match has happened at WrestleMania since Rumble.
I think. Go ahead, Tony. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's why Dustin got written off AEW.
Yeah, and I think
we don't know what the trade is yet. So
exactly, and I think Tony Khan is going to be willing to do that, right? The fantasy booking here. Wouldn't it be cool if like Cody holds the belt for like has held the belt for like 6 months or so, and in that time Dustin like ends his contract with AEW, or maybe that's part of the trade, right? Another trade, and then after 6 months, Tony lets Dustin go compete against his brother for the WWE Championship.
That's
interesting theory.
I agree with that one. I kind of like to see that happen. That's a good, interesting point.
And then after that match, they take the Goldust character, the clothes and the Stardust clothes, and they burn them.
You just had to go and do that Stardust thing, didn't you? You know how much he hates that.
I never did like that character of Gold.
It's why he would burn the. I don't think anybody liked that character with Cody.
And honestly, the Goldust character, it worked for Dustin. However, it did ruin his marriage with Terry Reynolds.
That's true. All right, Doug, thank you for stopping by, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Not our Doug.
So, Tony, do you want to go through the Stand and Deliver ones that we know of?
I don't know the matches for Stand and Deliver.
I do.
Braun Breaker versus Carmelo Hayes.
Because I don't watch NXT, so I don't know but so we've got okay.
The 6-woman ladder match for the vacated NXT Women's Championship. Although that one's going to be hard because we don't know who the last person is yet.
Well, that one might be a tomorrow thing then, or a Wednesday.
Oh, Tony, I just thought of something. There's a possible call-up from NXT to help Asuka.
All right, who are you thinking? Because
The final boss. Sakura.
oh, Sakamura.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know if I would see her as a heel though. She's always portrayed like a really respectful, like empress.
Oh, I've seen her as a heel in Japan.
So let's do this. Let's do this. Kairi Sane just left New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Where's she end up?
I think she ends up back in WWE.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think she's gonna come back. Her, Kairi, Asuka, and the final boss is going to become a group.
Again, I don't know about the final boss, but I could see them putting back together Asuka, and then Kairi,
And Io.
and then Io leaves Damage Control, and they reform their faction from New Japan.
I think Kairi's done everything she can in WWE. I think her next stop is AEW.
Yeah, that's another good point.
There is a lot of people in AEW that I wouldn't mind seeing her wrestle against.
Kairi Sane versus Britt Baker, DMD.
Kairi Sane versus Rio.
Ooh, that would be a good one right
That
there.
would be a good one.
Kairi Sane against her trainer, Emi Sakura.
That would be a good one too. So the fourth match, so the fourth women in the Fatal 4-Way will be named. That's the match that's coming up right now.
Okay.
So that should be the last one of the WrestleMania card unless they throw something else at us. So I will let everybody know.
So let's talk about Dynamite this week. That they have another stat card coming up. I mean, you've got Matt Hardy versus Jungle Boy. You got Willow Nightingale versus.
Oh, by the way,
There it is.
here's something you might not know.
What?
It's very possible there's a possible former AEW coming to WWE.
Yeah, Brian Cage.
No,
Well,
I heard Wardlow.
Yeah, I saw that post too, but Wardlow still got time left on his contract, so that ain't gonna happen anytime soon.
No.
Brian
But
Cage expires as of the pay-per-view on Friday. He expires as of then.
At the end of
at the end of the pay-per-view.
yeah.
Who Wardlow?
In fact, no, Brian Cage.
I would like to see Brian Cage in WWE. He can
Well,
give some of these big men a challenge.
Well, technically, he was already there once, but he was just in
NXT.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see him in the NXT. I see him on one of the main rosters.
Here's a little spoiler, i.e. Paul Heyman.
I can see him with Heyman.
They did the Ring of Honor tapings for after Supercard of Honor, right?
Uh-huh.
And the Gates of Agony came out without the 6-man titles and without Brian Cage.
Well, we already know he's gone.
Yeah, but I mean, at least now we know he didn't like sign
Yeah.
like a short like.
Stacy Kleber's is going to be inducted.
Yep, we already knew that too.
Yep,
Is there a tag team
I'm
going
very.
in?
What?
Not that I know of. I think it's a small class this year. Because to the best of my knowledge, I think it's just it's Rey Mysterio, the Great Muta,
Andy
Stacy
Kaufman.
Keibler,
Andy Kaufman and Stacy Keibler.
and possibly a referee. Because I've been hearing those
Yeah.
rumors too.
I'm thinking it's Earl Hebner.
Yeah, that's either him or Charles Robinson.
No, Tim
Or
White.
Tim White.
That's a possibility too.
Yeah, there's only 4 people in the Hall of Fame. The referee hasn't been announced yet.
Okay.
So right now it's just the class of 4.
So let's do this. We know who's possibly going to be inducting Rey Mysterio if they can work out the negotiations.
Jerry the King Lawler's going to induct Andy Kaufman.
If he's out of the hospital and he's feeling well.
He is out of the hospital from what I heard.
Yeah, but is he healthy enough to travel to the Hall of Fame?
I'm pretty sure he is. But I don't see nobody else that knows Andy Kaufman like Jerry Lawler. Except for the host of the late night show that they were on.
David,
I think it was David Letterman.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was Carson for a second, but I think you're right. I think it was.
That's the only other person I can think of that could induct Andy Kaufman.
And then Tori Wilson will probably induct Stacy Keibler.
Yep.
Probably.
Now, the Great Muta, I would have said Sting if he wouldn't have been in AEW.
I would actually say Ric Flair.
Yeah, I can see that.
Or Terry Funk.
Well, I think Terry Funk's in a nursing home, so that would make it a little bit hard for Terry Funk.
Or it could be Gary Hart.
Ooh, that's a good possibility. I was thinking if they wanted to do his biggest rival in Japan, he could do Chono.
But I think it's going to be Muta's manager at the time, and that was Gary Hart.
Yeah, but I think you might be onto something with Flair too, since Flair's the one that introduced him being in the Hall of Fame in the first place.
Yep. And not only that, him and Flair had a great rivalry once.
That's true, they did. Not a very long one, but they did have a
not as long as him and Sting,
but they can't do Sting because Sting's in AEW.
Right.
I'll tell you another match I'm looking forward to on Dynamite is Jeff Cobb versus Kenny Omega for the NJPW United States Heavyweight Championship.
Is it going to be yet another 5-star match for Kenny Omega?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, it's Sonya Deville and
Chelsea Green. Okay.
The match isn't over yet.
Yeah, how'd you do that if the match isn't over yet?
Because I have Raw on.
So do I. It's not over.
I have a satellite, Tony.
So does he.
Why? My feed's a little slower. He's right, though.
Oh, okay.
So I'm predicting whether everybody likes them or not. I have to go with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler.
Can you run through who's in that match again?
Yeah, hold on. So Chelsea Green, DeVille, Ronda Rousey, Shayna, Natty and Chauncey, and Liv and Raquel.
I'm gonna go with Raquel and Liv Morgan. The reason I'm not gonna go with Ronda is because we don't know how healed up her arm is yet. She had that hairline fracture in her arm.
That's a good point. I might have to rethink that and go with an upset and say Natty and Shotzi.
Tony?
That DeVille and Chelsea just made it that much more difficult.
I see your point.
It made it that much more difficult because we know two things. We know who our hearts say should win it, and that's Liv and Raquel.
Right.
But we also know that Cardona and Myers are coming back to WWE.
Right.
And we know that it's rumored to be at WrestleMania.
Right.
So it just that throws that extra kink into it.
That is a tough one.
So do you think that the major or the Cardona and Myers would like hit a move on one of the females and help Chelsea and Sonya win?
No.
I don't know what I'm thinking there. And the other part of this that's really interesting to me is the Ronda Shayna. I mean, I've never picked so many heels in a pay-per-view ever. I mean, seriously, I've never really picked so many heels in a pay-per-view ever. Just the possibility of when Roman goes away after Mania, Paul Heyman needs a new person. And just the possibility alone of, again, our guest from last night, who we thank tremendously for showing up and giving us an awesome interview, has said this manager that I'm thinking of has never managed a woman.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I've got to go Shayna Ronda with their new advocate, Paul Heyman.
And yep. I see where that is going, and I have to agree with you.
And Doug is back, so welcome back, Doug.
So
I have to say.
So that is my breakdown on that match.
I have to say, I want to see Natty and Shotzi win it, but my heart is saying Ronda and Shayna.
Okay, can I change mine?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Once
locked in, it's locked in.
Let me explain. Because after you said the Cardona Myers thing, I started thinking about the fact that they could safely hit the like a tandem Rough Rider on.
But you see,
on
that's why you think about these things before. And I told you before, the game rules were no takebacks. Your pick's locked.
And then Doug just confirmed that they won on Raw. And then is that who you're picking, Doug? Is Green and Sonya in that match at WrestleMania? But you guys do have to agree that Raquel would probably be the only one that could safely take a tandem Rough Rider, or a
Yeah.
finishing move.
Well,
I think
so
Ron,
could
I think Ronda or
Shayna.
I think Ronda or Shayna could too.
Good point.
It would destroy. It would destroy Liv.
It would totally annihilate Shotzi and Natty.
Mhm.
Shotzi and Natty is just too old to take a hit like that.
And don't worry, Doug. We're all going a little bit back and forth on that one. So the fact that you don't know who to pick is completely
But the
understandable.
important thing is our host locked in Raquel and Liv Morgan. That's the important thing to remember here is our host locked in Liv and Raquel. Even though he wants to try to backslide his way out of it.
No, you just brought up a good point and made me rethink my position.
And as Tony Schiavone likes to call it on Dynamite, systematically cheat.
How is that cheating when you brought up a good point?
So
that's a valid point. Doug said the new belt's white and the in the middle is Cody's tattoo.
Well, I figure they would make it a custom belt for Cody.
Did you guys know, speaking of Shayna Baszler, did you guys know that Shayna Baszler's a YouTube champion?
Oh, really?
She is the women's up, down heavyweight champion.
Oh, wow. So I think that's the WrestleMania card. So it is official. Our host has made his picks. Now, I'm going to go to his co-host. Did he pick a perfect card?
I don't know. I would have to evaluate that after WrestleMania and give my final thoughts next Monday.
All right. Thank you, Doug. We appreciate it.
Thank you. No, what he's saying, Pat, is with the picks that I made, do you think that I made the perfect picks that I need not to wear a dress to the Mariners game?
I'm going to give you a 50-50 chance.
Oh, it's my choice now. Mr. Noss.
Yeah.
You have no chance in hell.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. Which ones, in your opinion, Almighty, you're better than me, and you know it, do you think that I got wrong?
Ziggler.
Okay.
Liv and Raquel. And the Profits.
Okay.
Tony, I'm going to have to throw the Mysterio match in there.
Oh, and I think he got the winner of that one. I think Dom's gonna win that match.
I totally disagree. I think Daddy's going to win it.
No, because here's the thing, Pat. Daddy doesn't have anything to prove anymore. Dominic has more to gain out of the win than Ray would.
Yeah, but if they do the career versus mask, yes, I'm going to go with Dom. However, if they don't do the career versus mask, I got to go with Ray.
I don't know. Either way, I hope they drop the whole been in prison gimmick from Dominic because that's just
Dominic,
stupid.
yeah.
Or at least give him a toothpick and go, "Hey, yo."
Yeah, something.
Oh, that is one of the participants in the Battle Royal that I
What?
completely forgot about. Solo.
Ooh.
He's in the Battle Royal.
Can't take your pick back. Sorry.
I'm not taking my pick back because I want
No.
Bronson.
No. We can't. He can't.
Damn it.
However, I do see it coming down. The last two is going to be Bronson. Actually, the final three I can see: Mustafa, Bronson, and Solo.
You know that the battle royal is what probably did me in if I don't win because those are just so hard to pick.
So that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We went ahead and did the picks on WrestleMania week day 1. I was gonna make him sweat until Friday, but we went ahead and rolled with it. His picks for WrestleMania are officially locked.
So now my follow-up question, because now I have less confidence going into WrestleMania than I did before because of the Battle Royal thing. What color dress do you think I should wear? You know, I was thinking more of a blue, you know.
So now he's asking you fans to pick his dress for him.
And
If I have to pick a color, Nathan, I am going to go with the most obscene color.
well, hopefully it'd be something that would match my eyes.
Not a chance, Nathan.
And hopefully,
I
hopefully
would
the
have to
Mets
say
hat,
Vertigo would probably agree with me on this one.
which is
Pink with polka dots.
no, I'm not trying to match Britney Poison.
I would say pink with polka dots.
I just hope the Mets hat that I might have to wear is gonna fit on top of the wig that Tonette's gonna get me.
Oh, it can be those hats can be adjusted. But like
Okay,
I said,
we did say
with
that
polka
within
dots.
reason this is an uncensored podcast as long as we don't get kicked off of YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have one very, very important question to ask you guys. You ready?
What's that?
Bra or no bra?
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna even comment on that one.
I'm
However, Nathan, whatever you decide, you can always ask Mikey.
Oh please, I'll look so much better than Mikey. It ain't gonna be funny. Although that is setting the bar kind of low.
Yeah. Oh, this is interesting.
So Tony, you didn't answer the question. You just got extremely quiet.
Oh no, because Mark asked me to do something for him.
Oh.
Tony, are you seeing what's about to happen? I think you guys are right. I think Ray Mysterio is going to put a stipulation in there.
Yeah.
So I think you should enter. I think you seems how you love the Piper so much. I think you should channel your inner Piper.
Oh no, I'm not.
Yeah, Nate, I think a kilt will be better for you.
Yeah, but if one good breeze, the Mariners are gonna like die from fright if they. Remember, if it's a nice day outside, the roof would be open.
Well,
And we
this
are
is
on the.
too.
That's right. The tickets are on the 100 level too, aren't they, this year?
Yep. That's okay. If I wear a kilt, we get a good enough breeze. I'll just do this. Hello. And then we get kicked out of the T-Mobile Park.
So your picks are locked, as I was saying earlier.
Yes.
Tomorrow night we will. What are we gonna do tomorrow night?
Well, I know I'm doing a recap of NXT. And tonight, I would say maybe 11:15, I'll be doing a recap of Monday Night Raw. I only say 11:15 because sometimes Raw runs over quite a bit.
So he's gonna do an after dark. That's
Yeah.
right. We're gonna have 2 shows on tonight.
Yeah, I won't be
Nathan's gonna have one anyway. Nathan's gonna have 2 because I don't know if I'm gonna do the after dark or not.
That's fine.
I won't be on it because I'll be in bed.
Yeah, you got to work tomorrow. That's all good.
Yep. I'm actually working 4 days this week. Because we're getting ready for inventory week.
Got it. So, can we go? I know we've talked about it a lot, but can we go back to yesterday for a minute and just like reflect on how awesome the interview was last night?
Well, if we go back to yesterday, let's go all the way back to the 1:00 interview.
Yes.
And thank Mex and Jay Sizzle for all the new subscribers and viewers that we have to our podcast.
Yes. Can you give us a count? You gave me the count last night. You want to give our viewers the count to what we're at now?
I think I'm over 40 some viewers now.
And we're up to 20 subscribers on YouTube. So thank you guys and keep subscribing. And I do have to say, and I know, Tony, you'll agree with me, I loved the Plex interview because he was just a fan. You know what I mean? That's a wrestler. And it was fun just to, talk about what he liked, what we liked, and just hang out for, an hour and some odd minutes.
Did you sign your pen?
And let's look at this. Plex has also got us another potential possible interview in the works.
Yes, I started the negotiations on that today.
We won't reveal the name yet, just because that's who we are. We don't put our interviews out there until we know for sure we're interviewing them. However, we do have a little bit more news. Is it June 14th?
What? Strawberry Fest?
Yes.
17th.
June 17th in Marysville, Washington is Combat Wrestling's Strawberry Fest. That is their WrestleMania. It's going to be 2 nights of theoretical wrestling. In the very near future, we will have not 1 but 2 of their referees coming on this podcast to talk about Strawberry Fest.
Yes. And should we announce what we're trying to do, or should we wait till that becomes confirmed.
Well, just a second. We'll get there.
Okay.
Coming up next week, we have an interview with Special Olympic DJ Shane.
Yes.
Later in the month, we have Wesley and Mr. Tubbs coming in April.
Yes. And I'm extremely excited about Mr. Tubbs and DJ Shane and Wesley also. So
what Nathan was talking about was we are trying to get up to Marysville for that weekend to do live podcasting from the show.
yes. Now, whether it would be both nights or just one of the nights, that part we haven't figured out yet. We also haven't figured out how to get my wheelchair up there, so that's the biggest hurdle. So if any of you, our fans, have any ideas, we're open to ideas on how to get up there.
So we've got many new and adventure. We have many new and exciting things coming up, including 2 more prediction shows this week. Live after darks after each wrestling event this week.
Yes.
I don't know if we're going to do a Saturday recap of WrestleMania or if we're going to just wait until Sunday.
I believe we're going to do that one on Sunday.
But ladies and gentlemen of the podcast, we should know as early as Friday if Mr. Noss has came 100% true on his predictions for WrestleMania because the Battle Royal is Friday night on SmackDown.
Yes, and if I miss that one, then it doesn't matter what happens at WrestleMania because I lost. And I think we'd be remiss if we didn't promote Vertigo stuff from last night.
Do you remember the dates for those? Because that one thing is very, very huge.
Yes, I remember the dates for those. They have a show coming up that you can see on Facebook Live at WXW Wrestling, and that's on April 6th. So you can check that out. And I believe he said the main event was him and Benny Mack in a no disqualification match.
For the WXW Championship.
And then the one that Tony was talking about is April 22nd. They're going to be opening the WXW Vault for an auction on memorabilia from the Wild Samoans.
Not just Wild Samoans. Bloodline memorabilia, Wild Samoan, and the Samoan Dynasty.
Yeah.
And that would include...
Yes, and we're talking stuff from not just, but from the AWA, from the NWA, and, so if anybody wants to go to that auction, you can also go to the WXW Wrestling Facebook page and find the information for that. All the proceeds will be going to the island of Samoa to help with
America's Samoa
to help with the schools and sports.
So please go help out a good cause. Help kids in America, Samoa, get new football equipment and baseball equipment that is so desperately needed.
Yes, and personally, if I had the money, I'd be bidding on some of those items, but that's another story for another day. I'm anticipating them having a very high number for some of those items.
Yes, I know. I might actually watch some of that just to watch the bidding.
Yes, I'm planning on doing that also. Pat, are you planning on watching any of Vertigo stuff, either on the 5th or I'm sorry, on the 6th or the?
I'm gonna try. However, I don't. On the 22nd of April, I will not be able to because I have my swim regionals that day.
Got ya.
And I'm going to be exhausted after 4 races.
Well, I can understand that. So why don't we do this? Why don't we all go around and say what our favorite all-time WrestleMania match was and why?
Oh. Gee, which one do I choose?
Well, see, that's the hard part.
I'm going to have to go back to WrestleMania 3.
All right.
Macho Man Randy Savage versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Ooh, good one. Now I got to think of another one because you took my original pick. Tony, while I'm thinking of another one, yours?
All I can say is, don't you wish you could change your pick now? Lashley's in the Battle Royal.
Son of a... Yes, I do, but I can't. Well, I'm going to wear a dress.
And as I stipulated, ladies and gentlemen, the host cannot change their picks, but the co-host and the executive producer can. And I'm going to go from Mustafa Ali to Bobby Lashley.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that one, Tony. I'm going to have to say it's going to come down between Bronson Reed and Bobby Lashley.
Well, at least this way I'm going to make most of the people happy on the frontier.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, we will find this out on Friday if he can run a perfect card or not. And right now, with the look of that Battle Royal list,
say the lead.
Mr. Host, you ain't got a chance in hell.
Double six.
Yep.
However, there were 2 top matches in WrestleMania 3. Macho Man and Ricky Steamboat was actually outdid the main event that year.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
However, that was the year that Andre passed the torch to Hogan.
Yes, but it was also the match that Hogan was scared shitless because
Hogan didn't know which way Andre was going.
Yep.
And then when they were locked up, Andre literally flat out told Hogan to slam him.
Yeah, but he still didn't know if he was going to go all the way over and let him slam him, even though Andre said to slam him.
However, I would have to fast forward 3 WrestleManias ahead to his
WrestleMania 6.
Was it 6? It was either 6 or 5. His retirement match.
Well, it was 6 because his retirement match was him and Haku versus Demolition.
No, not that one. It was Roddy Piper versus Adrian Adonis. And
see, I thought you were still talking about Andre.
No. I have to say Roddy Piper, Adrian Adonis, because that was the birth of Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
That is true. So, Tony, your favorite WrestleMania match? Even though I kind of have an idea where this is going.
Oh, you think you know me so well? Okay, so what's my favorite WrestleMania match?
I don't know the match, but I'm guessing it's anything to do with The Undertaker.
Actually, Nathan, I have to disagree with you that I think he's going to go with one of the TLC matches that involved the Hardys.
Actually, the match I'm choosing is, let's see which one. Let's see which one of these hosts know me the best. The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels retirement match where Triple H was the referee and they all walked out of the ring together.
Knew it.
Yeah, I kind of had a funny feeling, but I had to take a wild guess on the TLC match between the
All-time-
Hardys, Edge and Christian, and Dudley's.
Although that was a good match, it wasn't my favorite.
Okay, my favorite spot in that TLC match was when Edge speared Jeff in midair when the ladder got caught on Jeff's feet.
Yep.
My favorite moment in the match that Tony was talking about was at the end when Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and The Undertaker all posed at the top of the ramp.
That was definitely an end of an era.
Yes, it was.
However, I have to say, another good match in WrestleMania history, whether you like him or not, was Doink the Clown versus Crush at WrestleMania 9.
Yeah, only because there was another Doink under the ring.
Yep.
And funny story about that, I talked to Bill Alfonso during when I was doing the From the Pit with Gary Wolf.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to Gary if you're listening or will listen to this later. And he said that he didn't even know that there was supposed to be a second Doink under the ring. That was something Vince even kept from the referee. So when Matt Bourne, who was the original Doink, which I confirmed it with him in Chehalis also. When Matt Bourne went under the ring to switch places with the other Doink, so that one could come out the other side. That's why Bill Alfonso had such a confused look on his face because he couldn't figure out what they were doing.
Now, here's another good WrestleMania moment, and I kind of like it. Going back to WrestleMania 3, and I kind of think that WWE didn't use him to the full potential, and that was Billy Jack Haynes.
Yeah, I have to agree with that, but I think Billy wanted to go back to Portland wrestling at that point. So I think at least that's the stories I've heard.
Because believe it or not, I mean nothing against Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Lock, but I think Billy Jack Haynes did the Full Nelson way much better than Bobby Lashley or Hercules Hernandez.
But you're forgetting one other person that used the Full Nelson.
Chris Masters.
Nope, you're forgetting another person other than Chris Masters.
Who's that?
The Warlord.
Yeah, but the Warlord didn't do it quite well as Billy Jack or Bobby.
I disagree because the Warlord, at least, he kind of crimped the neck down where Bobby Lashley, Chris Masters, and Hercules and Billy Jack Haynes all had the guy standing like straight up.
Yeah, but don't forget, Davey Boy Smith wrote the Warlord's Full Nelson.
Of course he did, because he was the British Bulldog. He could break anything if he wanted to. So let's talk a little bit of Seahawks news, since that's part of this podcast also. What are your guys' thoughts on Bobby Wagner signing a 1-year deal to come back to Seattle?
All I can say is I'll wait and see what happens.
Personally, I love it. I think with the moves, I read something from, I believe Dakota posted it on his sports network. He said that with the moves that the Seahawks have made this offseason, we could see a recreation of the Legion of Boom.
Yeah, that's possible.
Tony, what's your thoughts on Bobby Wagner?
Yeah. Anyways, moving on. He was a good key up until we lost him last year. Probably never should have left him, but it's a 1-year deal. Probably just a year to sign his contract and then retire.
Yeah. I'm excited to have both the referees on from Combat Pro Wrestling. I think they are one of the most unique promotions that I've ever seen. So that'll be interesting, and I do hope at one point to have the promoter on as well.
That would be cool.
I also heard a rumor today that the Blazers might shut down Damian Lillard, even though the Blazers are mathematically still in the playoff contention.
There was one more match that I heard that they might add to WrestleMania. I forgot about this.
Which is?
I think they're going to try and in some way to add a gimmick match.
Well, didn't they already do that with the Hell in the Cell? My bag too.
Oh no, I think this has to do with some of the old veterans.
Oh God, I hope they don't do the gimmick battle royal like they did back at WrestleMania 15.
Like I said, I don't know what they're doing, but I heard that there's a gimmick match gonna take place.
Because then that would mean we'd have to see Paul Heyman revert back to the big cell phone Paul Heyman, and then maybe bring in Jim Cornette with a tennis racket.
Oh God, Jim Cornette has no business being in WWE anymore.
However, if the Midnight Express does get inducted, he will be with that group.
Okay, yes, but if the Midnight Express get inducted, and I've said this numerous times to other people, so I'll say it on here, Bombastic Bob and Bodacious Bart should not be inducted as part of the Midnight Express.
No, I agree with that. It should be Beautiful Bobby, most definitely.
It should be
Stan.
It should be Beautiful Bobby and Dennis Condrey, and it should be Beautiful Bobby and Stan Ling.
And the Boss Man and Cornette.
Well, if you're gonna let Boss Man,
Cornette's just a manager. He doesn't deserve to go in.
If you're gonna put the Boss Man in, that as part of the Midnight Express, he would have to go in as Big Bubba. Rogers.
He was known as Big Bubba as part of the Midnight Express.
Yes, he was, and again in later years in WCW. Thank you. Okay, fine, Tony. If we don't bring Jim Cornette into the gimmick battle royal, if they do it, can we at least bring in the Goggly Googer?
That is the most. I have to admit, that is the most
Only if
hilarious.
you bring Pete Rose so he can battle Pete Rose.
Touche. Now, here's a little bit of trivia for you guys. Do you know who the original Goggly Googer was at Survivor Series 1990?
I knew who it was, but I can't remember.
Tony?
He looked a lot like you.
Well, I do have his legs. Do you know who it is?
Mm-mm.
He comes from a royal family. The brother of Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero, Hector Guerrero.
I can see that.
That's why when he got into the ring, he was able to do all the flips and stuff. Okay, getting back to that battle royal, do you think they'd bring in Gilbert?
I think they were bringing Gilbert. I think they were bringing Brother Love.
I don't know. Those sparklers might break the fire code for whatever arena they were in. Back to seriousness though. I have heard that Randy Orton might make an appearance at WrestleMania. Although
Yep.
I'm wondering in what match.
Well, as much as
OMG, I just thought of which one he would help with.
Hold on, Pat. Let Tony go first. He was saying something.
as much as you and I'd love to see it, I guess the draft isn't going to happen the night after WrestleMania.
No!
May 8th and May 12th.
Damn you! WWE. That was supposed to be our when we went to SmackDown.
I just realized if Orton returns at WrestleMania, I think I know which match he's gonna get involved in.
Which is?
He's going to help Cody.
Because of legacy?
Yes. And because the bloodline took him out.
Well, that is true. I was thinking he could be the opponent for Lashley at WrestleMania since Bray Wyatt can't be there.
But Lashley's in the Battle Royal.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he still can't wrestle at WrestleMania.
Good point. But I still think he's gonna. I think he's gonna neutralize Solo.
It depends on with him and Solo if they really want to go off the fact of Rated RK Bro, because maybe he would want revenge for Riddle. But to be fair, I don't know if WWE would want anything to do with Riddle right now with all the controversy that he's creating.
Shush! Shush, please!
Okay, what do you got?
I guess I'm going to show our fans breaking news from our viewer, Doug. The brand new world title coming soon. So this is not a spoiler. This is a fact. Winning the title and becoming the new world champion.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
I like that belt.
However, I see another match added. If they don't do the gimmick, which I'm hoping that they don't do, like you said, Nate, I'd like to see them add one more match to WrestleMania.
Well, the thing is that
Randy Orton versus Solo.
The thing is, you got to remember though, Triple H wants to keep the WrestleMania card kind of low because they want it to be more profitable for when they sell the company.
Yeah, but with WrestleMania, that's not going to happen.
Oh, Triple H can make it happen.
All right, boys, it's time for the main. Oh, wrong show. Sorry.
Is it said you do that a little bit better than Mark Henry? No offense to Mark Henry. Please don't come squash me at the frontier.
You know, that's one of the people I would love to get on this podcast.
You already met him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he would be a good one to get on the podcast.
So, Mr. Henry, if you wanna come see Nathan, look at the bottom of the screen, my man.
It's not fair. Yes, but he doesn't know where I live in Longview, Washington, so I'm still safe. Son of a bitch, I just stepped in it.
Because I think it'd be interesting to hear how Mark Henry got his start.
I know how he got his start.
Well, yeah, but
Here you go, Mr. Henry.
Oh God, I'm a dead man. He's gonna come here.
I'll just hide that one.
He's gonna come in here and roll my bed up like a burrito, and I'm gonna be the cheese in the middle. I can just see that too. He rolls it up all the way, and I can barely get my hand out to hit the call. Like the egg comes in. What's wrong? Help!
now I can see Tonette coming in, looking at Mark,
Help the
looking at
bacon.
you, and turning around and walking out.
Just one of the nurses that actually likes wrestling. Oh my God, you're Mark Henry. What happened to Nathan? Oh, he made fun of me. You touch him, I put you in there. Have a nice day.
I'd be like, Mom, help!
You said not to touch you, honey.
No, but I do see Randy Orton doing something to getting involved in either the Hell in the Cell or the championship match.
Or if he doesn't wrestle, how about this? How about Randy Orton doing commentary for the Roman Reigns Cody match?
Yeah, I can see that too.
That way, if Randy's back's not at 100%, you still get him on WrestleMania.
There you go, everybody. Nathan's address. Ask for Nathan Noss. If you're lucky, he'll give you an autograph. It might not be worth much, but
And for any attractive ladies out there, I am single. So
until he puts that dress on, then there isn't going to be a woman in the world that wants to touch you.
well, not necessarily. There's some interesting people out there.
Hey, Nathan, we can always find a way to get hold of Boy George.
No, thank you.
He could do the makeup for you.
No, I already have somebody doing my makeup. Thank you.
I can always call Cece and see what Brittany's doing that night.
Now, I wouldn't mind meeting Brittany Poison.
Dude, it's the same person.
I know. What if you'd let me use the pink boa?
I wonder if he subscribes to this podcast. If you subscribe to this podcast, please, Mr. Nathan Noss would love to borrow your pink feather boa.
Okay. Coolest finisher you've ever seen and why?
There are so many that I've seen.
Well, while Pat's thinking, Tony.
It worked.
I think I stubbed both people.
It worked. Greatest finisher, Superman punch.
What worked? What'd you do?
You haven't figured it out yet. That's fine.
No, because I can barely see what the tagline is under my name. What you write?
Want to be chairman?
Ouch.
Or maybe we can just say,
How'd you change my name?
because I'm the executive producer and I can change anything.
So, Pat, best finisher and why?
I would have to. I have to go way back in wrestling history. So, a finisher that my dad told me about.
Okay.
I can't. I think his name was Ricky Starr, and he would get on his opponent's shoulders with his bare feet and manipulate his opponent movement.
Yeah, you're right. It was Ricky Starr. That was back in the early 60s.
Yes, I would have to say beyond shadow of doubt that is the coolest finisher.
Tony?
Well,
Oh, you said the Superman punch.
well, before we go back into this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I have a special announcement for you. Because we already know Mr. Nuss is wearing a dress in August.
Possibly.
We already know you're wearing a dress because you lost the Battle Royal.
Hey, Dolph could still win.
Yeah, and pigs can fly.
I didn't know my ex-fiance could fly.
But anyways, up until August, he's not allowed to change his chairman tag.
What's it say now?
I'm wearing a dress chairman. That way when everybody goes and sees it on YouTube and everything and starts asking in the comments why, everybody will know.
So, my favorite finisher of all time has to be Jacob Platu's triple jump moonsault.
But is it the best moonsault ever? Because as you were saying, no offense to Christopher Daniels.
No offense to Christopher Daniels, but yes, I would call Jacob Platu's moonsault the best moonsault ever. As Mr. Vertigo said last night, for a man his size that can control his body like that and cover the distance that he covers would make that the best moonsault ever.
But I said my dad's favorite finisher.
All right.
Now for my favorite finisher, it would have to be Tito Santana's flying forearm.
Ooh, good choice, because that one can be hit from like anywhere.
Yep. Or as Jesse Ventura would say, the
Nathan
flying burrito.
audio.
What's that, Tony?
So, ladies and gentlemen, we lost Nathan's audio.
As Jesse Ventura would say, he's using the flying burrito.
And I think Nathan's back.
Did you know that Tito Santana didn't originally use the flying forearm? He used another finisher.
I know he used that off the top rope finisher.
We can't hear Nathan again. And he's back.
Do you know what?
Sorry, can't hear you. And you're back.
I'm gonna have to make this fast. Do you know what the move was that he used?
It was a cross body off the top turnbuckle.
Nope.
That's the only one I saw he used before the flying forearm.
Do you know, Tony?
No, I don't.
He used the figure four.
So out of there's 3 wrestlers that used the figure four.
Yeah.
Ric Flair, Tito Santana, and Greg the Hammer Valentine. Who
Actually, there's
the best.
Actually, you missed 2.
I'm talking about back in the day.
I know you missed a couple. You missed the original Nature Boy, Buddy Rogers,
Yeah, true.
and you missed the man that the Nature Boy passed the figure four on to, as Tonette's mom likes to call him, the Fizz.
I'm just talking about Tito Santana, Ric Flair, and Greg Hammer.
Okay,
Between
well, Greg the
between
Hammer
those
Valentine is hard to say because Greg the Hammer Valentine used a shin guard to make his.
Exactly.
He called it the Heartbreaker.
However, there's one person that completely revamped the figure four. And she uses it way better than her daddy.
That's Charlotte, but all time you gotta say Ric Flair because look at how many titles he won with it.
Yep. So I think I can stump you on this one, Nathan.
Yeah, keep trying.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think we need a break for the 2 co-hosts here to play nice. So we'll be back in 30. Are you boys ready to play nice now?
I was playing nice.
So was I. Anyways, Nathan, who was Jimmy Garvin's relative that wrestled alongside him?
Jimmy is Ron Garvin.
Yeah, but who was Ron Garvin? How was Ron Garvin related to him?
They were brothers.
Nope.
Yeah, they were.
No, they weren't.
Oh.
Ron Garvin was his stepdad.
Interesting.
Jimmy Garvin's stepdad was Ronnie Garvin.
I do know that Jimmy Garvin was the first person that DDP managed.
Yep. And then it went to
Scott Hall was.
What was her name? His valet, who became his wife.
Oh,
Precious.
Precious.
Man, talking about a great feud.
Yeah, her and
That
Baby
was
Doll.
Jimmy Gargan and Kevin Sullivan. What a great feud.
Okay, we can talk more offline. We're going to go ahead and end the broadcast.
Okay.
All right.